in the country. Brought to you by Kubota Hay Tools. Forage forward.
If you want to make the investment and you get the A-OK and permits to break ground, you can build a pond on your farm. But creating a pond can take more thought than what it seems. AgDay's Betsy Gibbon talked with a farmer and contractor and share some tips on how to get started.
This area of Jason Wyckoff's farm is always underwater, so he decided to dig.
Because it's always been a hole and some water's always sat here, it's always been like, man, we should build a pond out there, we should do something.
Before the Indiana farmer sunk an acre of land, he met with a contractor for help.
He brought his equipment over, we took some shots, and I started looking around at where we thought water level would be and how big we could make it.
That contractor, Mike Kelly with KFAX Incorporated, says no matter how big you want your pond, it needs to be deep, especially to keep ecosystems alive.
Here it freezes pretty hard, so you'd at least want 10 foot.
And for low-lying areas, that's even deeper.
We've seen a lot of ponds. We've dug 12 foot deep, come back a year later, and the bottom's actually of the whole pond has risen 4 feet.
The next step, and one of the biggest problems, preventing fertilizer runoff.
We built the berm up around it, and it was his opinion that we should have a little bit of a bank, and a vegetative bank, to keep runoff from just kind of running directly into it over the top.
Then there's the problem of pests.
You want to keep your banks as slightly sloped as possible, especially around here because of the muskrats. If the banks are too steep, the muskrats will get in it and undermine your banks.
Now, just because Wyckoff's land held water before doesn't mean it will again without some extra help.
If it's sand below, you'll have to line it with a liner.
And if you pick a liner like this one, the bottom needs to be level.
That liner will have to be glued and taped together, so we want it as smooth as we can just for that purpose.
Kelly says it's a good idea to have water ready before the liner goes in.
Because if the liner gets in and you don't have the water and you get a big wind, it could be a bad day.
But once it's finished, a well-built pond can pay off in a multitude of ways.
We've just never gotten around to it until this project kind of was a catalyst for, hey, we need dirt, and it just worked out really well.
In Indiana, I'm Betsy Gibbon reporting for AgDay.
Thanks.